Connor, you're from the Wirral. You moved to the local area where we are now, and you got involved with TNS Ladies back in 2018-2019 season.
Yeah, I was coaching on the Wirral for sort of 2-3 years. I moved down here with my partner and then looking for a local team to coach, and I saw an advert online that said, coaches wanted, all voluntary, within the foundation, coaching the ladies. I come down, I'd done the odd session, and the manager at the time sort of wanted me on board, so I joined the team and then sort of spiralled from there, really.
And did you enjoy your time with TNS Ladies?
Yeah, it was good. There's a cracking bunch of girls, to be fair. I mean, some of them are sort of still here. Obviously some are coming back, some have obviously moved on. But yeah, it was a really good sort of introduction to sort of coaching in Shropshire, because obviously it's a little bit different and there's a lot more travel, to be fair. I was used to just popping around the corner to the next team, whereas here, it's a bit of a drive to get to the next team. So.
And you were coaching, of course, but then you also got involved in the analyst side of the game. How did you make that switch?
Yeah, I've always sort of been interested in the sort of the tactical side of the game. So as I was coaching, I'm sort of always a keen follower of football, and then obviously when lockdown happened, I couldn't coach. So to get my fix, I started writing articles for a magazine, and just spiraled from there. The magazine was called Total Football Analyst. Just started writing, sort of breaking down, started off in Scottish football, doing data analysis, breaking down positions and who the standout players were for that season, and then broke into matches where I was analysing matches and just sort of splitting them down and seeing what sort of the managers were trying to do in that game, and sort of went from there, and I found a real keen interest in it. So I went from there and I thought, you know what, I'm going to make an effort at this, and I applied to go to university to study sports performance analysis.
I was going to ask you about the magazine writing, because that's quite a leap from coaching girls to writing analyst articles in a magazine. How did that leap come around?
Again, scrolling through Twitter and saw them looking for writers. I was like, I've never done it before, but let's give it a go. Kept me busy during lockdown, to be fair, while everyone else was going nuts doing jigsaws or whatever. Didn't have a garden at the time because I lived in a flat, so I just thought I'll do that. Kept me busy, something to focus sort of my energy on. I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. And I was very grateful, to be fair, because it was that experience that got me into university doing what I'm now loving to do in real life. So.
And it just shows that it pays to be proactive as well.
Oh, 100%. Since I've been sort of in this area, I'm a massive believer now of you never know who's watching, and every opportunity I've had is because people have just sort of been catching me doing something, or I've been there at the right time, and it may be fate, I don't know, but it just sort of falls into place sometimes, doesn't it?
You never know who's watching, indeed, and it was Chris Sargent who spotted you, and that was the next step on the TNS journey.
Yeah, so Sarge spotted me coaching the ladies and said he liked my enthusiasm. I'm still quite young in my coaching career, so he said obviously the academy could help me with that and sort of develop me as a coach, which I was really interested in. So he got in touch with the then manager of the ladies and put me in touch, and then I come in, assisted a few sessions before Christmas, and then I was leading after the Christmas of 2019 going into 20. I was leading sessions with mainly the younger groups, because that's where my experience is from grassroots before I come to TNS. So it was just all sort of, again, from there, started working in the academy, developing my skills as a coach, and now I'm sort of regular in the coaching community of the academy. So.
And of course the video analyst work as well, that took off with the first team last season.
Yeah, again, being in the right place at the right time. Sarge sent me a message saying, are you interested in coming down to record a game versus Barry? I think he texted me on the Sunday and the game was on the Tuesday night. I was like, yeah, all keen for it. Told me when to meet, drove down to Barry, recorded on the camera. I remember being in the stands with you and Sam and just sort of being like, whoa, what's going on here? I'm a bit out of my depth, but sort of warmed to it, got used to it. Met the gaffer, Anthony Limbrick, and just sort of got chatting to him really on the bus down, and he sort of asked me about what I was doing, about university and things like that. And then again, they needed someone to go down to needed someone to go to Carnarvon and record Carnarvon. I'd done the same, and unfortunately due to my working commitments at the time, I couldn't really record any of the weekend games. So that was me done, but I was always sort of asked all the time if I could do it, and unfortunately I couldn't because of work. But then end of the season I got a nice message. So
Well, I think what you've said so far, you need to make Chris Sargent your agent. He's certainly been very influential in the steps that you've been taking so far.
Yeah, 100%. You know, before I come to TNS, I'd only really coached at a grassroots football club, and you know, although I got my opportunity with the ladies, without Chris Sargent, to be fair, I'm very grateful to him, because he got me into, it was his idea to bring me into the academy, and it was his idea to sort of take me on that one trip to Barry, and you know, it's got to where it has now, and I am very grateful, because you know, it's sort of, I think every boy's dream to be a footballer, and if you can't be a footballer, you want to work in football, and now I work in football, so it's you know, it's massive for not just sort of me and my development as a coach, as an analyst. I think it's massive for me as a person, because it's made me realise that all the hard work that I've done up to this point has been worth it, to be fair. So.
And ahead of the 21-22 football campaign, it's also a new season for you, because you're full-time now with TNS.
Yeah, so started 1st of June. Main roles are sort of recording and coding, so I code all the games, the training live. So the gaffer can watch it back straight after. Obviously we haven't really had any matches just yet in pre-season, but when we do, obviously I'll go with them, I'll record the matches, code them, clip them. Obviously we had a previous analyst. I'm lucky enough to be using the similar software that he had. I've tailored with it a little bit, so it's more to my liking. But yeah, so it's getting going now. It's really starting getting so exciting about the season. I can't wait to get going and sort of travel all over Wales and see grounds that I've never seen before, because I've not seen many Welsh grounds, so I'm really looking forward to all those long trips down south and getting sort of cold on the coast.
And not just the journeys around Wales, but also Europe, because European competition is on the horizon as well.
Yeah, it's massive. I can't wait. I think there's draws next Tuesday, which we're all going to probably watch and see where we're off. So again, you asked me a year ago, could I imagine that I'd be going away being an analyst of the team full time? I'd have laughed you off, but here we are. It just shows that if you work hard, you kind of get to where you want to be sometimes. And again, like I said before, you never know who's watching, you never know who's sort of observing what you're doing, so always do the best you can, and you know, wherever it may be, so hopefully it's somewhere sunny and we can get our shorts on.
Well, you've proved yourself in coaching and video analyst work. What about your singing abilities? Because finally, as you know, there is an initiation ceremony for everyone that joins the club on staff. You're put on the spot. You have to stand up in front of everyone and sing a song. What are we likely to hear?
I'd probably go maybe something by Elton John, or I'd probably go a bit funny and do something like maybe The Rapper's Delight by the Sugar Hill Gang. That's always a good one. From the 90s, most of the players will know that. And hopefully get a few more people up and helping me out, so it's not just me singing.
Connor, I've enjoyed our chat this morning, and welcome to your new position at the New Saints.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.